Episodes 43D and 43E. Episode 43D. In Oregon, air purifiers are handed out. Wendy noted that, in California, the San Joaquin Valley is now acclaimed for how it is tackling PM 2.5 pollution. Wendy noted that, in Oregon, air purifiers are being handed out to residents in Oak Ridge and Westford. Summer wildfires often blanket the region with smoke, while winter wood burning prolongs the problem of PM 2.5 pollution. Smoke obscures traffic traveling on Highway 58 on the east side of Oak Ridge. An initiative enabled by Oregon Senate Bill 762 will help some Oak Ridge and Westford residents breathe easier. A sign identifies the Oak Ridge air offices on the eastern side of town. The Oak Ridge area has recurring issues with clean air. Oak Ridge Air is partnered with Oregon Health Authority to distribute air purifiers for locals on Medicare or Medicaid. I don't want to put a cap on it, but as long as we're being inundated with smoke, we're confident we can meet the need, the program manager for Oakland Air said. An air purifier unit is in Oak Ridge Air's office. Besides people with sensitive respiratory or cardiac conditions, the program manager added that they're also working to protect children. We've partnered with the Oregon Health Authority, OHA, and the Oregon Department of Human Services to get large air scrubbers to the school districts, because when the children are in school, they're in buildings that can trap smoke in throughout the days, said the program manager. And then some small individual room purifiers, to keep the air pure in the school. Oak Ridge and Westford residents can inquire at Oak Ridge Air's website or office between 8 to 11 a.m. on weekdays to see about procuring their own purifier. Wendy noted that a new study showed lower test scores from wildfire smoke exposure. Wendy noted that a new study showed anemia caused by PM 2.5 for women of reproductive age. Episode 43. Failed Ordinance versus Fire Pits in New Jersey. Noel noted that, in New Jersey, in a demonstration of government dysfunction, Lavalette officials didn't reach a consensus on regulating fire pits. Noel feels that Lavalette officials should follow the science, rather than weighing all viewpoints equally, no matter how nonsensical. A long-discussed measure to regulate the use of fire pits in Lavalette is no closer to being passed since viewpoints among officials differ greatly in terms of the scope of the would-be ordinance. Even among residents who have spoken at borough council meetings, there is no true consensus regarding the breadth of potential regulations, or whether there should be regulations at all. A few residents have occasionally brought the matter up to the governing body, normally with the complaint that smoke from wood-burning fire pits can enter their homes and become bothersome. A smaller number of residents have said fire pits should be banned outright due to fire risk. Lavalette, like all towns in New Jersey, defaults to state statutes when dealing with fire pits. While uncontrolled bonfires are not permitted, fire pits are legal as long as any open flame container is located 25 feet from a structure, which could mean a home, garage, or deck. Some fire pits may require anti-flame matting so the surfaces on which they stand do not catch fire. Some on the council have called for more stringent local regulations via ordinance, but others have questioned whether such an ordinance would be enforceable over the state statute, and whether such additional regulations constitute a nanny-state nuisance that could pit neighbor against neighbor. It's not an easy solution to say, you can't have something, said a councilwoman who leads the borough's ordinance committee. The exception would be for open flame, wood-burning fire pits. She envisions an ordinance that would allow smokeless fire pits but prohibit wood-burning fire pits with open flames. The problem ones are those with an open flame, primarily wood burning, that cause the issues. The issue, of course, is that someone will have to go out and enforce it. There was a suggestion where we institute a licensing scheme where people need to obtain a license, and if they violate the rules the license could be revoked, said the Lavalette mayor. Councilman David Finter said he supported a ban on wood-burning fire pits, period. Resident David Gear said he was in favor of regulations. The state law is 25 feet. We don't have 25 feet, he said, referencing the size of lots in Lavalette. Whether it's a lot of smoke or a little bit of smoke doesn't matter. If it's coming into your backyard, it's still an annoyance. It's also a safety hazard. The leader of the Ordinance Committee said the Ordinance Committee may re-investigate the issue for a later recommendation. Mary noted that wood burning emits more CO2 than coal burning. Mary calculated the CO2 emissions of natural gas burning are, at most, around half of the CO2 that coal emits. Mary also did a calculation from the chart from Families for Clean Air, which compared the weight of PM2.5 emitted annually. The weights were 1/6 of a pound for natural gas, 27 pounds for a wood pellet stove, 97 pounds for a certified wood stove and 244 pounds for an uncertified wood stove. Also, the natural gas weights would not increase over time, but wood burning emissions might very well increase over time, as wood stoves aged or were not maintained under laboratory conditions. Given the weights from the Families for Clean Air chart, a wood pellet stove emits 16,200 times more PM2.5 than a natural gas furnace. A certified wood stove emits 58,200 times more PM2.5 than a natural gas furnace, and an uncertified wood stove emits 146,400 times more PM2.5 than a natural gas furnace. Mary noted that the focus of Residents Against Wood Smoke Emission Particulates, ROSEP, is on the health effects to near neighbors of living next to residential wood burning, in those hyper-localized areas where the source of particulate pollution, PM2.5, is concentrated. PM2.5, particulate matter of 2.5 micrometer size, is the perfect size to infiltrate the human lung, causing a cascade of human health problems. Wood smoke consists of 90% PM2.5. Residential PM2.5 monitors can be purchased by neighbors from Purple Air for less than $300, and their locations are put on the online Purple Air map, along with data uploaded every 10 minutes, available to the general public, and of course, to governmental authorities. Neighbors of residential wood burners would like their Purple Air PM2.5 monitor data to be used to regulate and shut down residential wood burning detected at neighbors' fence lines that exceeds the World Health Organization, WHO, standards of 5 micrograms per meter cubed or future U.S. standards of 8 micrograms per meter cubed. There could even be court-ordered monitoring using a neighbor-owned Purple Air PM2.5 monitor as a breathalyzer, similar to car breathalyzers court-ordered for repeat drunk drivers, to turn off the ignition of a neighboring indoor wood stove when levels of PM2.5 in a near neighbor's yard is exceeded. In this way, governmental authorities would not have to check the make and model of an appliance and would not have to rely on unreliable certification and other worthless assurances of levels of wood stove particulate emissions by the company that manufactured the wood stove. Purple Air monitors also provide data every 10 minutes 24 hours a day, and data can be downloaded from the map by governmental authorities the day after the PM2.5 levels are exceeded, during normal government working hours. Purple Air PM2.5 monitors are so reliable and accurate they are put on U.S. Air Now smoke and fire maps alongside $100,000 Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, monitors, correlated to the EPA monitors with a simple mathematical formula. But to publicize this, it is necessary to point out that living hyper-localized next to a residential wood burner is essentially the same as living hyper-localized next to any kind of PM2.5 emitting wood burning appliance, next to a PM2.5 emitting wood burning wildfire or next to a PM2.5 emitting industrial biomass, wood, burning facility.